Welcome back, this is CerealSnax, and today I am playing Guild Wars 2, and what I really wanted to do is I've been getting a lot of questions about how to get to Lion's Arch, or how to get to the crafting areas in general. I talked a little bit about this in my crafting video, but I want to go through each race and just show you where you can go to do your crafting, or preferably to Lion's Arch, where there's a Mystic Forge and all kinds of other cool stuff. So right now I am in the Char starting area, and if you've played a Char, you will recognize this. This is the area that you start out in. This is right south of Gunbreach Hills, the village of Smokestead. And right to the east of me is the entrance to the Black Citadel, which is the city for the Char. So we're going to go in there and I will show you how to go through the city to either the crafting area or to Lion's Arch. So let's do it. So let's run in here. Of course, you see the portal that goes into the city, basically straight in here. We'll go in here. So each race, of course, has a city. This, of course, is the Char city. Let's see here. Now, one thing about these cities is that you can actually, there's a guard right on the entrance of each city, and usually they have in their name the word directions in brackets, and you can actually ask them for certain areas, and it puts a waypoint on your map to find that area. So if you actually want to craft in your own city, which is perfectly fine because all the vendors are there that you need, all the karma vendors, all the money vendors, everything you need is actually there. You can just do, I want to find a master crafter and pick the one you want, for example, cook, and then open up your map, and you'll see there is a little star that's been put down, a personal waypoint, and you can just follow that to get to the cook. And you see the little cooking station, it's a little pot. Now every city's got a crafting area, and they're marked with these little icons. So you can see here there's the huntsman station, the artificing station, jeweling station, armor smithing and weapon smithing, tailor, of course the cook. Oh, and then there's the leather working. And then also you can also see these little pink dots. Those are karma merchants that actually sell some crafting supplies with karma, but your master crafter that you train with also sells stuff through currency and through karma points. So that said, I'm not gonna run to the crafting area here because I just showed it to you. It's in this top north area of the Black Citadel, the Canton Factorium. So that's where you need to go for the Char. And any race can use any other race's crafting area too. So if you like a certain city better than others, then by all means just go to that city. I like the Black Citadel. It's all mostly on one level, which makes it a little easier to run around in. That said, it's a little bit longer than the other cities. So the way to get to the Lion's Arch portal is you just go straight up that ramp and then bear to the right a little bit, and you just kind of go around the inner circle of the Black Citadel here. So you just go around the edge, and eventually you will get to the portal to Lion's Arch. So once you get, so there it is, you can see it in the distance. That's the portal. There's a bridge actually on this map that goes out right by the Lagakis Kilo, which is the water over here. I don't know how you say that exactly, but, and it's the Lagakis Kilo waypoint basically. And once you've discovered that waypoint, it's real simple just to port right to it and go right to Lion's Arch. So now in Lion's Arch, when you get there, I will show it at the very end of the video. I'll show you Lion's Arch and how to get around that area as well, but I'm just going to start by looking at each race's city. So I'll be right back with the next race. Okay, now if you've started a Norn character, you'll recognize where I am. This is the very starting area of the Norn class, or the Norn race. And basically the way to get to the Lion's Arch is through this gate right behind you. Just like the Char, basically. This is a little simpler actually because the gate's pretty obvious. The other thing, if you've watched my other video about cooking, you'll know that the level 6 heart in the Norn starting zone gives you a very valuable recipe, the Bjarni's rabbit snack. So this is kind of, if you go the opposite direction that I'm going right now from the Lion's Arch portal, you will find that that's the quickest way to get that recipe. So this is how I do it. Instead of going across that bridge, which seems like it would be the obvious way to go, I'm actually going to go up and around. Because what that bridge does is it puts you down on the lower level of the Norn city of Hoelbrak, and it's better to be on the top level because that's where the portal to Lion's Arch is. So we're going to run through here. Strangely enough, you can't kill the rabbits in Hoelbrak when you are actually in the city, which is kind of upsetting because I like to just kill every rabbit I see because I am a Char. Let's just keep running here. Oh, look, and there's a crazy giant guy, Jotun guy running through here. So you can see the karma merchants that I was talking about. Here's the crafting area for the Norn, which is nice. So if you really wanted to, there's a pretty quick distance between the entrance to Hoelbrak and the crafting area. It's pretty much just right where I was, where I saw that rabbit. And you can do all your crafting right there as well. So pretty quick and easy if you don't want to go all the way to Lion's Arch. Really, the only advantage to Lion's Arch is that you have access to the Mystic Forge, which allows you to do a few other neat things with items that you've crafted that maybe you don't want anymore and don't apply to your character or whatever. You can throw them into that forge and you can get back better items. And I'll probably do a video on that someday, but that's the one nice part about Lion's Arch. Plus, everything's pretty central. You can pretty much go anywhere you want from Lion's Arch. So let's just go in there. And here it is. Here's the entrance to Lion's Arch. I'm not going to go in there again, obviously, because I'm going to go to the other cities, but I will show Lion's Arch at the end. So go on to the next race. Alright, now we're in the human starting zone of Queensdale. And obviously, if you're a human, you know what I'm talking about here. So if you look at this map, I haven't gone through a lot of it, but you're in the village of Shaymore. Now, one thing I did talk about in my other crafting video is that there's apparently a farmer in the Shaymore fields that will sell bulk carrots, but I've never been able to find them, and I think they may appear depending on what events are going on. So really all you do is just go straight into Divinity's Reach, which is the human starting city. And you can see here, it's got a portal just like the other races, so we'll run in here. All the races have really a pretty easy design. The only race that I've had a little bit of difficulty with finding the portal was the Asura. And the Sylvari is a little tough too, but the humans, the Char, the Norn, all very straightforward. So really all you do is just run straight into the palace. And actually, I'm on the wrong level. Let's go up this way. This is where it can get confusing with the human. You want to make sure that you go up the ramp and not down the center, or you'll be underneath the city more or less. Let's go up here. Alright, there we go. And then once you get to the top of this ramp, actually there is all the crafting stations are at the top of this ramp. So again, if you wanted to do crafting in this city as opposed to Lion's Arch, it's pretty easy access. And the portal is actually not that far away from the crafting area. So I'm going to run up here. I'm of course playing my Char character just to show you all this, and so he's loping all over the place. Let's see. And of course, like I've said before, there's a waypoint there. That's probably the closest waypoint, is actually the Minister's waypoint, which is right up at the top of that ramp. And like I said, the crafting stuff is all around here, the cultural armor smiths and all that sort of stuff. So go right in here and you just turn the corner and go right. Actually, whoop, not that right. The second right, and there's the portal. And then we just jump into Lion's Arch. So I'll be right back with our next two races, the Asura and the Sylvari. Okay, this is the Asura starting area, the Metrica province, and this is the college. The college area, the Sorendra. And when you are in this college area, it's pretty simple. There's the entrance to Rata Sum right behind you, as usual, just per usual of all the races. You pretty much get to the city entrance right behind where you start, obviously. So this is of course the zone. Now, one thing I didn't mention on the other ones is that there are crafting areas in each of the zones as well if you're out adventuring. The one here is up here in near the Quato Morass, kind of north of the Ak Wilds. So all of them have that. They're not as useful probably as going into the city, but it's nice when you're out adventuring to have one somewhat close by. So I'm going to go into the city. Rata Sum. Now Rata Sum is a little bit more complicated than the other cities if you want to get to the crafting area, because if you look at the map, you actually start out, if you look here in the bottom right, there's actually multiple levels of the map. You start out on the third from the bottom, the Tyria. It's called the surface level. You got the Tyria upper level, Tyria underground, and Tyria depths. The crafting is actually one level down over here in the top left and the top right. And then of course there's some down here in the bottom as well. So the crafting is not as combined in one area as it is in other cities, which makes it maybe a little less useful, especially if you've got two professions that are split between two areas, which can be a little difficult. So anyway, let me just show you. Basically, when you come out of this portal, it's pretty straightforward to get to the Lion's Arch. You just go straight across to the middle, and then basically north. You can see the portal in the distance over there already. So it's actually relatively easy to get to the Lion's Arch from the Asura city. It's probably the quickest city to get through, quickest of all three, but it's a little more complicated if you leave this level. So here it is, and there's the Lion's Arch gate. Pretty straightforward. Alright, I'll be back with the last and final race, the Sylvari. Alright, this is the Sylvari starting area, and I'm going to run back into their city. So here's their portal into their city through this big tree. I'll go in here. The Grove is what it's called, and this one is multi-leveled, much like the Asura, although it's not nearly as complicated, especially if you want to get to the Lion's Arch. Now, the crafting areas are going to be found on the bottom right area of the tree. Let's see here. I think it's on a different level, however. No, I'm sorry. Top right. Basically one level down from where you enter, so you just need to find the staircase, which is really close, and then you can go up into that crafting area. So on the surface area, it's pretty straightforward to get to Lion's Arch. You just run straight through here. Now, one of the nice things about the Grove is that occasionally, and some of the other cities have this as well, maybe through NPCs, but this particular city has nectar that your character can drink, and it actually makes them run faster. I'm going to use my elixir for right now. But you'll actually see them scattered about. I haven't encountered one yet, but they are sitting around, these little nectar things you can drink, and your character will run a certain amount faster than they normally do. So this is it. Here's the portal for Lion's Arch. Pretty quick. I'm going to go through here and I will show you Lion's Arch and where to go for crafting and all that sort of stuff. So here we go. And so Lion's Arch is an area that is a holdover from Guild Wars 1. It's an area that was popular in that game as well, and it's going to become pretty popular in this game too, because it's a gathering spot for all of the races. And you can see the lion statue in the distance over there. And I showed this on my crafting video, but I'll show it again really quickly. Really what you want to do to get to the crafting area is it's really just straight north. So we'll just run through here. You run through this plaza, this main grand plaza. It's a very graphically intensive area, and I love the design. You can see the ships lying around, the buildings. It's very well done, and it's already become very popular. Pretty much when you come here, every single time I've come here, I've been thrown into the overflow, which of course happens when there's too many people on the server at any given time. So you can see running north here, and this is the crafting area essentially. So you can see there is the Mystic Plaza, Mystic Forge, where you can see people are throwing stuff into, and then of course the crafting area over here, which is where everything is located. So here's the cooking station. I talked about that in my cooking video, and they're all lying around here. So that's it. Looks like I've got a guild member running around me doing circles here. Spotted me. But hope you enjoyed, and hope you got some information on how to get to Lion's Arch and do your crafting. So I will catch you later.